Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Tshego Boshielo. I'm so excited to be back with another video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. It's so good to have you here. Please become part of the Real Day One Squad by subscribing to my channel. Also, please click on the post notification bell so that you're notified every single time I upload a new video. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. So today I just want to share with you guys about how I was delivered from guilt, okay, and how guilt can actually make you stop living your life, and how guilt actually has the ability to define your life in a way that you are unable to rise up and do what needs to be done, and you start seeing yourself in a way that the devil wants you to see yourself. And this is my story, and maybe it is someone else's story, and even though it could be your story but with different, like in a different version, and even if you've never, maybe it was not your story, I really hope that you would understand me. And just a disclaimer, what I'm going to share about, unfortunately I have to speak about other people, but I'm not gonna speak about them from a place of malice. It's not me being malicious. Unfortunately, I can't share the story without mentioning those people, and I'm not gonna speak bad about anyone. And so I just needed to put that out there. Unfortunately, I have to speak about these people for me to make my story heard. So in my early 20s, I went into courtship. Now I was courting this guy, and it happened that this guy is actually my best friend at the time, my best friend's uncle. So he was about like 3 years older than me, and then my best friend is like 3 years, I'm 3 years older than her. So we went into courtship in I think it was around 2012. When we went into courtship, I was 20 years old at that time. And now, if you grew up in church, one thing about church back in the days, because I grew up in church, we were taught as little girls that we are gonna grow, and there's this man that's gonna fall in love with us, and there's this man that's gonna love us, this man that's gonna marry us. So we should keep ourselves, we should be virgins, we should remain as virgins, and this man is gonna come, he's gonna pick us up from the garden, and he's gonna want to marry us, and he's gonna you know that is what we were taught. And growing up, I looked at my life through those lens. Like, I was like, I'm gonna grow and I'm gonna get married and I'm gonna have kids, and for the longest time that is how I saw my life. And it's so crazy that this year I'm like 31. I have none of those. I'm not married. I don't have kids. It's so crazy. Like, I honestly can't believe that I actually got to this age without having those things, especially as somebody who grew up thinking that this is the only way life can be. But God had other plans for me. Like, He just showed me that, girl, there's life outside marriage. Anyway, so when this man proposed to me and told me, listen, I want to marry you, girl, I was like, yay, it's happening for me. I was so excited. I was like, oh, this thing is happening for me. I'm going to be one of those girls from the church who grew up in church, who was serving in church. And then I got my reward at the end of the day. I got the marriage. I got the man, and then I'm gonna have the kids, and I'm gonna have the home, and all of those things. And unfortunately, 2 years into the courtship, the relationship ended. Okay, so when the relationship ended, the reason the relationship ended, I was on the wrong side of things. Okay, I was on the wrong side of things. Unfortunately, I had an affair outside of the relationship. And then I confessed to this man of my dreams. Like, I was like, oh, my man is gonna forgive me, and we're gonna continue with our plans of being married. Continue. I was in for another surprise. I was in for a surprise. This man was like, listen, I can't. Okay, like, he broke up with me, and I was devastated because now he broke up with me. So now, oh my God, it's one thing when you do something wrong and then you are able to apologize and then the friendship or the relationship can continue. But it's so different when when you make a mistake and then you ask for forgiveness and the person says, I forgive you, but I can't continue with you. So for me, it really left me so hurt. It left me so sad. But now the breakup was not the problem. Now the problem became that his niece and myself, we continued being friends because we were childhood best friends. We continued being friends. And as we continued being friends, as best friends, we were sharing everything. We share everything, every part of our lives. And that's how we grew up. We grew up just sharing everything and anything. And the mistake that I made at that time was remaining friends with her. And she still loved me regardless. She still cared about me. She's a good friend. Oh my gosh, like we have good memories. Amazing times with my girl, and I understand why she didn't leave me. I understand why she was like, okay, you made a mistake, it's fine. People make mistakes all the time, it's fine. We're gonna continue with our friendship. However, that was detrimental to me. And why I say that, because now this ex of mine continued with life. He went into a new relationship. He got married, he had kids, and now my friend also became, because my friend is close to her uncle, she was close to the partner, and she would always share with me what is happening. So I knew a lot of things, and I think I knew more than I was supposed to know, especially because this person is my ex-boyfriend, so the fact that we broke up, that was not the problem. The problem was that every time she told me, each and every single time she told me, and that time, guys, I did not think about it like that. Every time she told me, like, there was this guilt, like, you see, this could have been your life. So this voice inside of me was like, this could have been your life. It could have been your wedding. It could have been your kids. It could have been your car. It could have been your house. It could have been you. It could have been you. It could have been you. So I lived my life like thinking to myself that, oh my gosh, I missed out on this life. I missed out on this beautiful life. I missed out on like having a good life. Look at me now, I'm single, I'm a relationship. Life was just so crazy, and here my friend, and she's telling me out of the goodness of her heart. And that time, because of the guilt, I can't even say please don't tell me, because I feel like it's unfair. This girl stayed in my life. The least I can do is to just listen to her when she tells me about her uncle. And I thought, no man, I'm just not healing from the breakup. I'm just not healing from it. And when I listen to other people, I hear a lot of people going through things in their lives and how they struggle to heal. And I thought, this is normal. Not healing is normal. So I lived with this pain. I lived with this regret. I lived with this guilt. And it built and built and built and built and built. And every time I would like make a new friend, I would always tell my friends that, when I was in my early 20s, I did this and the guy broke up with me. And everybody was like, dude, it's not a big deal. Like, just get over it. Everybody's like, get over it. It's not a big deal. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But for me, it was a big deal. And also, it was a big deal because my friend could not invite me to like family gatherings or anything like that, and I had to console myself and be like, yeah, you can't be invited because you are the ex. And for so long I walked around seeing myself as an ex. Like, the only thing that I was an ex. And every time I will try a new relationship and it will fail, I always felt like God was punishing me. Like, I felt like God was punishing me for what I did in the past. Like, yes, I deserved the punishment. I went through life feeling like I was being punished. And no, the devil had found a foothold in my life. So the foothold was through my friendship. And so, yeah, I went through life Like, I even got to a point where I was depressed. I got to a point where I was admitted for depression. Like, it really affected my life. I was just not healing, and I did not understand why I'm not healing. And every time I spoke to people, people did not hear me. So one day I told my friend, I'm like, but then why don't you invite me to like gatherings and stuff like that? And she was like, I can't invite you because you are an ex, you know. And obviously I can't remember like the words she used, but like that's basically what she implied, you know. And those words hurt me. Like, they hurt me so much because I would see her inviting other people, and I was just not invited because I'm the ex. And now, unfortunately, shame, man, people are gonna look at me like I'm this desperate ex. So she can't invite me, and guys, it hurt me so much. It hurt me to the core. It hurt me like, yo, it really, really hurt me. And I think the devil was having the time of his life, you know, because the devil loves it when we are just so sad and we are just so guilty, and we are just so, we define ourselves by the things that we did in our, like, the devil, yo, I can imagine the joy he had in my life for about 8 years, and like just the joy he found in me being so miserable. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can just imagine how joyful he felt, how happy he felt while I was going through this, you know. And it kept me stuck, you guys. It kept me stuck hearing about my ex over and over and over and over and over again. It kept me so stuck. It made me compare myself to him, like, oh my gosh, he's moving on. He even got married. He even has the kids. He even has this. Look at me. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm not even able to get a relationship. I'm not even able to get married. Had I not done that, I'll be married by now. And it just hit me, and I walked through life feeling so sad and feeling so sorry for myself. I prayed and I went to church, and I read the Bible, and I served in the ministry. Being as broken as I was, being as depressed as I was, I still continued, and I was like, this is my cross to carry. I guess this is how life is. But one thing I love about God, so one thing I love about God is that, you know, God, He has a plan to deliver us, guys. Yo, God had a plan to deliver me. One day, I got my deliverance. I got my deliverance, you guys. So now, last year, I made a new friend. And I remember just telling my friend about my story, my history with regards to this relationship. And as I was relating the story, I was emotional. I was so emotional. So every time I related the story, I would cry. Every time I spoke about my ex, I would cry, you know. And my friend was like, but why are you crying over something that happened almost 10 years ago? Like, she did not understand, you know. And for me, it was like, I don't know. I just cry. Every time I talk about it, it's that emotional for me. I just cry. It's just a sad thing for me. And my friend, this friend of mine, she told me something that when she first said it, I was like, there is absolutely no way. There has to be another way. There is absolutely no way I can do what you're telling me to do right now. And she said to me, girl, you are gonna have to cut ties with your best friend. And I was like, girl, no ways. And then she told me about her history, being in the same position that I was in like previously. And she told me like, it's not gonna work. That is why you're not healing. You are connected to someone who is so connected to your brokenness, and because of that you are just not gonna heal. You have to break ties, you know. And I was looking at her like, girl, there's no way. This person is my best friend. This person is my sister. This person has been there through the good, the bad, and the ugly. This person has been there when my highs were high and my lows were low. This person has been there through my childhood, teenage life, my 20s. There is absolutely no way. I don't have a sister. This girl is my sister. How do you tell me to break away from my sister? How do you tell me to separate from my sister? Whereas Hakena see what's gonna happen the day I get married? Who's gonna help me? Hakena Diwa, who's gonna help me when I have my babies? Who's gonna help me when I do? This person has been there. And this girl was like, you must cut ties. Hey guys, and when I got home that day when I got home that day, the Holy Spirit started speaking to me like, this girl is right. You have to, cut ties with your friend. And I was just like, oh, it was very hard for me. It was very, very hard for me. But fast forward, I then sent my friend this long text telling her how I feel, and I believe I was not offensive in the text. Like, I tried to be like, I tried not to be offensive, because really I was not angry at her. Honestly speaking, she was not the problem. The problem was just that I was not healing, And then when my friend did not respond to the text, I then took it as though our friendship is over. And it's been, I don't know how long now. I think we stopped talking last year. Last year was 2022, maybe 2022, October, November. I can't remember when we last spoke. I'm talking about someone that whom we used to talk like almost every day. We used to talk for like 2 hours almost every day. I shared everything with her. She shared everything with me. And our friendship basically ended. And although it was painful, the friendship ending was so painful, but guys, I received my freedom, I received my deliverance, I received healing. Let me tell you something, like, I feel fully healed. I feel like I can run. Like, I feel like there were so many things that were holding me back, and I couldn't run, I couldn't do anything. But after letting her go, and I'm not saying it was easy, I'm not saying it was nice, I'm not saying I wanted that to happen. Unfortunately, it had to happen, And I thank God, like I said, because God loves us, and He had a plan for my deliverance. He had a plan for my delivery, like, not delivery, deliverance, yes. He had like a divine appointment with me, and I let go of the friendship. I opened my heart to let go of the friendship, and I opened up my heart to receive healing. And I'm so at peace right now, not hearing about my ex and his wife and his kids. Oh, guys, it has been like the best thing ever. And yeah, and my I don't know what I should call her, but we still go to the same church, and we've never spoken about that. We've never spoken about it. I took it upon myself to really heal and be okay with the way things were, and I don't know why she never responded to my text. And I believe that Lena, from her side, it was good for her, like, it was okay, she did what she felt was good, she did what she felt was right, and it's okay. I think maybe she's also relieved from the fact that, I mean, I don't know, she's probably relieved, because maybe also having me as a friend was difficult for her, because now she's close to the uncle and the wife and all of that, so probably like she's relieved from her side. But from my side, honestly speaking, the foothold that the devil had over my life, and sometimes the devil will like try to remind me, yeah, I know you lost your friend, and I'm like, you know what, I would rather that than losing my sanity, rather that than losing my mind, rather that than the guilt I felt. Guys, it was the worst thing ever. It was the worst 8 years of my life. Had I known this way back, I would have let her go like earlier on. I would have let her go. I would have not continued with the friendship. But because when I broke up with my ex-boyfriend at that time, I wanted to hold on to any kind of love that was available. And since she had that love, I held on to it. Although holding on to it was detrimental to me, was detrimental to my mental health, it was detrimental to my soul. I thank God that I went through it, though. I went through it. and I learned what I had to learn. And yes, maybe God kept her in my life because I needed her at that time, because I went through a lot. Besides the breakup, there are so many things that I went through, and she was there to hold my hand. She was there to assist me. She was there to pray for me. She was there to advise me. She was there to carry me. She was just there, you know. So sometimes friendships don't end because someone is a bad person, because somebody betrayed you, because somebody did something wrong to you. Sometimes friendships end because of technicalities, you know, things that are surrounding the friendship. They are making it hard, or they're making it impossible for you guys to continue the friendship. And when the time ends for the friendship, when the time comes for the friendship to end, we need to surrender and to believe that God has good things in store for us. God has good friendship, and God has good people, and God has better in store for us. You know, just like I was able to let go of my ex-boyfriend, and now I was able to let go of my friend. You know, open up my heart to receive, not only to let go, but to receive good things, new things in my life. And um yeah, and to just, and one day, how I knew that it was a foothold, the devil had found a foothold in my life, is because one day I was walking to the bus stop in the morning, and the Holy Spirit started speaking to me that it was not about your best friend. The problem is not your best friend. The problem was the devil. The devil had found a foothold, and the devil uses the most mundane things to about again. The devil is very deceitful, so he deceived me via my friend. So my friendship is the most was the most precious thing, was the most innocent thing, and there was nothing else that the devil could get to me via. You know, the only thing that was there, it was my best friend. She was what the devil could use. I'm not saying that she was used by the devil. Like, she was not used by the devil, but her presence in my life, the devil found a way to get to me. And I realized that I was set free from even like the guilt, you know, because one day I remember I had this dream where Galora bumping into my ex. So this ex of mine and I, like her, we don't get along for some reason. We just, after breaking up many moons ago, even when we bump into we hardly bump into each other, but like if we happen to go to the same event, like hot hands between us, you know, we won't talk. So this one time, Gamolora, you know, I dream about him, and we bump into each other. So it was like my hometown came my fiance, where I grew up, to go my fiance. So I bump into him, go my fiance, and then when I bump into him, go my fiance, we are having a conversation. Him and I are like having a conversation, like rabalela. So in the dream, I'm like so surprised because me and this person don't even get along. Like, I'm so shocked that today we are getting along. I'm like, okay, this is weird, but it's nice, you know. So we're talking, and then at the end of our conversation, he says to me, "Yeah, I will never forget what you did to me back in the days, man." And I look at him like, "Yeah, wait, you are still there." I can see that, you know. I'm like, nah, I can see that. I'm not thinking about that anymore. Like, if you are still there, you are still there on yourself, like by yourself. It's in, you know. And I was just like speaking with so much confidence in the dream. And when I woke up, I was like, oh my gosh, really, I've been set free from the guilt. I've been set free for real, and it feels so good, you guys. If I lost, and guys, I lost, and I cried. The way I cried, the way I was so sad, you guys. But the Bible says that He works all things for the good for them that love Him and who are called by His purpose, you know, or to His purpose. So that is my story that I wanted to share with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And please do give this video a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. Also, please click on the post notification bell so that you're notified every single time I upload a new video. And I will see you guys on my next video. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye.